The pass is intercepted by Thieneman. Arnett gets it off, under pressure, blitz coming, flings one to the sideline. Incomplete, Ellis could not hold on to it. Heading into next year's draft, oh man, what a big-time play by Thieneman to take down Jacquiz Williams. You just watched exactly why this kid was a first-round draft pick. That blazing speed, that incredible range, that explosive closing burst. And folks, that is exactly the type of electric energy carrying over from his college days straight onto the practice fields at Halas Hall right now. It is happening faster than almost anybody in the front office or the media expected. Welcome back everyone to Chicago Bears Voice, your home for the most passionate, raw, and unfiltered Bears coverage anywhere on the internet. We have some genuinely exciting news coming out of Halas Hall today involving our rookie safety, and I truly believe this is one of those storylines that could end up defining our entire defense by the time September rolls around. According to the latest reports from Courtney Cronin of ESPN, our rookie safety Dylan Thieneman, the phenomenal first-round selection out of Oregon, has already worked his way into taking first-team reps during mandatory minicamp. Let that sink in for a moment. That is not a small thing to see happen this early in a rookie's development cycle. We are talking about a young guy who is still forced to learn Dennis Allen's complex defensive scheme completely from scratch this spring. Yet, by the time mandatory minicamp rolled around, he was already lining up side by side with the established starters. That is a fast track if I have ever seen one, and it tells you absolutely everything you need to know about how this coaching staff views the kid's absolute ceiling. According to Cronin's reporting, Thieneman has been described behind the scenes as an absolute sponge in that secondary room. He is soaking up as much knowledge as humanly possible from his veteran teammates, specifically fellow safeties Kobe Bryant and Elijah Hicks. And here is a fascinating little wrinkle to look out for. Elijah Hicks is actually the exact guy who is going to be pushing Thieneman for playing time all through the hot summer months. So there is a real intense internal competition brewing in Chicago right now. That kind of high-stakes competition is exactly what makes a rookie sharpen up and mature faster. You never want a rookie walking into a wide-open starting job with zero pressure or accountability. You want someone hungry nipping at his heels every single day, and that is precisely the competitive crucible the Bears have set up in that room right now. Let's pause right here for a brief moment because we have hit an important milestone on our journey together. Producing these deep dive documentaries and bringing you daily raw analysis takes an immense amount of hard work, sleepless nights, and pure dedication from our team. We pour our hearts into making sure Chicago Bears Voice gives this legendary fan base the high-quality content it deserves. If you are feeling the energy and loving what we do, please take a second right now to hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, share this video with your fellow Bears fans, and leave a comment down below. Every single subscription acts as direct motivation for us to keep grinding and keeping this community growing strong. Let us know you are locked in with us. Now, let us look deeper into why the front office targeted Thieneman in the draft in the first place. This was not a random pick or a best player available panic move. This was a highly calculated, deliberate plan to reshape our defense. The front office was drawn to him specifically because of his rare combination of elite speed and extreme versatility. Two traits he has been flashing constantly during these spring practices. That fits perfectly into the grand blueprint of what this coaching staff wanted to accomplish at the safety position during this entire offseason. Remember, this is the exact same offseason where the Bears made the bold decisions to let both Kevin Byard and Jaquan Brisker walk away in free agency. Those were two highly respected veterans, but neither of them was exactly built for the kind of modern, fluid, multiple defensive backplay that today's creative defensive coordinators are desperately chasing. In their place, the front office brought in Kobe Bryant, a proven Super Bowl champion with legitimate elite coverage instincts, and now they have paired him with Thieneman, a rookie who profiles as the perfect prototype for that new breed of do-it-all safety. Kobe Bryant himself actually spoke highly about his new running mate recently. And when a seasoned veteran talks about a rookie the way Bryant just did, you have to sit up and pay attention. Bryant noted that the moment Thieneman recognizes a concept on the field, he triggers and makes a play on it immediately. He specifically pointed out that processing speed is the single most important trait you need as a safety in this particular defensive system. Bryant added that the rookie has had a phenomenal spring, and that he fully expects him to keep growing by leaps and bounds from here. That is about as strong of an endorsement as you can ever hope to get from a guy who has already won a championship at the highest level of football. When your new franchise safety, a guy who just came off winning it all, tells you a rookie is already processing the game like a pro, it is a beautiful sign for this defense heading into the autumn. So, let us talk about real expectations, because I want to be completely transparent with you guys about what I see unfolding. My expectation is that Dylan Thieneman is going to be your locked-in starting safety right next to Kobe Bryant by the time Week 1 kickoff arrives. Now sure, when training camp officially opens up in July, do not be shocked if Elijah Hicks is initially still working with the first team unit. That is just how veteran courtesy typically unfolds early in NFL camps. Coaches love to maintain continuity with the players who already know the nuances of the playbook inside and out. But if Thieneman is not out there starting in Week 1, there are really only 3 logical explanations. First, he gets hurt, and we knock on wood that health stays on his side. Second, he simply hits a mental wall and stops picking up the defense, which, based on everything we are hearing, is not happening. Or third, Elijah Hicks puts together the single greatest training camp of his entire life and looks like an all-pro out of nowhere. None of those 3 scenarios feel highly likely right now, given the incredible trajectory Thieneman is on. What makes this kid so special is his historic versatility. Throughout his stellar college career, across stops at Purdue and then Oregon, he was constantly asked to master entirely different roles within complex defensive packages. He played heavy snaps at nickel, he dropped down into the box as a run support defender, and he also patrolled the deep third as a true single high safety. That kind of positional flexibility is exactly what modern defensive minds are prioritizing across the entire league. The days of the one-dimensional, strictly downhill box safety are completely numbered in today's pass-heavy NFL. You need chess pieces who can walk down into the slot, turn around, and run vertically with a tight end down the seam, and still be trusted to play true center field when the coverage shifts. That was the exact limitation with our safety room last season. Jaquan Brisker, while being an incredibly physical, hard-hitting downhill enforcer, simply did not offer that same fluid range of coverage versatility. Now, with Kobe Bryant and Dylan Thieneman both bringing elite coverage skills to the table, this entire secondary suddenly looks completely transformed. They are willing to mix it up against the run, fully capable of backpedaling into deep zone coverage, and confident enough to match up one-on-one when the game is on the line. Of course, we have to keep our expectations grounded slightly. He is still a rookie, and there will inevitably be some standard growing pains along the way. That is just the price of admission when asking a young defensive back to learn an entirely new professional scheme. Nobody should expect him to step onto the field in Week 1 and look like Ed Reed. But given his elite athletic profile combined with all of that versatile experience he built up in college, I genuinely believe this kid has a Hall of Fame ceiling. And it would not surprise me at all if he ends up being the most impactful rookie on this entire roster by the time the season wraps up. Speaking of making an impact, here is a fun question I want the entire community to debate. Who do you think ends up leading this Bears defense in interceptions this season? Personally, I would not be shocked at all if it ends up being one of our two dynamic safeties. Kobe Bryant would probably be the betting favorite given his track record and the ball skills he has already flashed at the NFL level. Jaylon Johnson is obviously a name that everyone will mention. But pure interceptions have never really been the signature trademark of his lockdown style. His career high sits at just 4 picks in a single season, and he is also coming off a year where he battled through some nagging injury issues. Let us shift our focus over to the offensive line for a moment, because there was some real, tangible good news dropped recently on that front as well. According to Warren Sharp's highly anticipated annual offensive line rankings, our Chicago Bears currently sit at number 6 overall in the entire NFL. Take a step back for a second and really appreciate that ranking. For years, the Chicago Bears organization simply could not figure out how to build a competent offensive line. It was a massive, frustrating sore spot for this entire franchise. Finally, this front office committed to sustained, heavy investment in the trenches. It paid off in a massive way last season, and now the expectation is that this dominance continues straight into the upcoming year. To put things into perspective, Denver sits at number 1 and Philadelphia is at number 2, which makes complete sense as those two units have quietly been the gold standard around the football world. Buffalo comes in at 3. Tampa Bay at 4, the Rams at 5, and then our Chicago Bears are right there striking distance at number 6. San Francisco follows just behind us at 7, though that feels a little high given some of their major depth question marks. The Chargers sit at 8, Seattle rounds out the list at 9, and Atlanta closes out the top 10. According to the actual breakdown of the Bears unit, there are some significant changes worth analyzing. Left tackle Ozzie Trapillo is unfortunately going to be out to start the year after suffering a devastating torn patellar tendon during last year's playoff run. That is a heartbreaking break for a young guy who was truly starting to come into his own late last season. In response to that loss, the front office smartly brought in veteran Jedrick Wills to add intense competition at the position. Now, I think it is a bit of an overstatement by the mainstream media to frame Wills as the absolute frontrunner to start. All signs heading into training camp actually point toward Braxton Jones, who was proudly re-signed this offseason, being the current favorite to win that starting left tackle job. Still, I am genuinely intrigued by what Jedrick Wills could bring to the table if he is healthy. He is a former first-round pick out of Cleveland who simply hasn't had the opportunity to play much consistent football over the past couple of seasons due to a strange, lingering leg injury. As for Braxton Jones, he dealt with his own physical setbacks late in the season and never quite looked like his fully dominant self afterward. But early reports have him back up around a powerful 310 pounds heading into this year, so we will see if he can recapture that elite form we saw from him a couple of seasons back. Obviously, the pads haven't even gone on yet at this point in the offseason, so nobody can truly judge offensive line performance until we get into those grueling padded practices in training camp, which is still a little over a month away. But here is the foundational truth that should make every single Bears fan feel incredibly optimistic. 3 out of the 5 starting offensive line spots are essentially locked in at a genuinely elite level. Joe Thuney, who was widely recognized as the protector of the year last season, remains one of the absolute best, most consistent guards in all of professional football. Jonah Jackson continues to be a legitimately high-level starter at left guard, playing with great leverage and power. And then, of course, you have the absolute anchor, Darnell Wright at right tackle, who earned well-deserved second-team All-Pro honors this past season and is currently in line for a massive historic contract extension. When you already have 2 players performing at a top-tier, top-5 level at their respective positions, and you pair that with an above-average starting guard like Jackson, this offensive line only needs average or slightly better play out of the center and left tackle spots to remain comfortably inside the top 10 league-wide. There is a very real, achievable path to this unit sneaking into the absolute top 5 if either of those remaining question marks turns out to be a genuine strength rather than just a passable answer. I think this front office was incredibly proactive in how they addressed the sudden, unexpected loss of Drew Dahlman at center. Bringing in a battle-tested veteran like Garrett Bradbury, who played exceptionally well last season alongside Drake May, gives us an immediate veteran presence. At the same time, using a valuable second-round draft pick on Logan Jones gives us the long-term future at the position, and possibly even the immediate answer if he goes out there and wins the job outright in camp. That leaves left tackle as the lone remaining true question mark on this entire offensive line, likely coming down to a fierce competition between Braxton Jones and Jedrick Wills, with Theo Benedict likely being deployed more as a versatile, valuable depth piece across the front 5. As we bring this documentary to a close, look at how beautiful this roster is shaping up. Exciting developments at safety with Dylan Thieneman already climbing the depth chart faster than anyone predicted, and a powerful offensive line unit that has legitimate top 5 upside if a couple of these summer battles break the right way. This entire organization is taking real, tangible shape, and there is so much to be proud of and excited about if you bleed navy blue and orange. Before you go, I want to remind you once again that bringing these documentaries to life takes an immense amount of daily hard work and true dedication. We do it all for the love of this team and this incredible community. Every single subscription we receive provides us with the deep motivation needed to keep going, keep researching, and keep delivering the absolute best content for you. If you haven't subscribed yet, please join the Chicago Bears Voice family right now. Smash that like button, share this video with every Bears fan you know, and drop your honest reactions in the comments below. Let us know who leads the team in picks, if Thieneman starts week 1, and if this line is top 5. Thank you for your incredible support. This is Chicago Bears Voice, and as always, bear down, baby. I will see you in the very next video.